Some of you have been here a while now and might know that I'm a pretty lazy man. But how on earth can you have a healthy diet that's also easy and convenient? Well, if you live in the US, it is your lucky day because I've got the perfect solution for you. Factor offers you the chance to get fresh, ready-made meals delivered directly to your doorstep. They're never frozen, they're full of high quality ingredients and packed with nutritional value too. It even offers meals for those following different lifestyles and diets. So what are you waiting for? Go and click that lovely link at the top of the description now. You'll get plenty of money off your first order with Factor and some off the few after too. You'd be a fool to miss out on an opportunity like that. Well, it's only early March, but today could effectively be the end of our season because the trophy hunt will conclude if we lose in the Europa Conference after a difficult first leg and a very unfortunate draw. We also got put out by the side that always beats us in the FA Cup, and although the battle for the European places continues in the league, the current European campaign might be over in just 10 or 15 minutes. Let's go and see if it is. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 97 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today for a massive game against, well, the pre-season favourites in the Europa Conference and a side that beat us in the group stages. And then we've got our rivals in the Premier League. As they scrap against relegation, we fight for a place in the top 7. I guess the positive is we've switched positions in the last 2 or 3 years. But if you're looking forward to finding out how we get on, whether we can continue our push for a trophy, then please do put a thumbs up on it. It doesn't look particularly good after the first leg and given what happened in the FA Cup, but we keep the faith and we will try our best. But even the battle for Europe this year, it is so tight. You've got Bournemouth defying the odds on 54, you've got Villa doing the same on 57, then you've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle and United all in that pack with us. And at last, a slightly resurgent Spurs as well. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. But first, let's have a look at the schedule because you were last with me. When were you here? The first leg of Aberdeen, wasn't it? We managed to overcome that obstacle. They really failed late on in that game. But beforehand, we bounced back with a 2-0 win against Southampton. Rodolfo and Vaknin got the goals for a side that was a little bit rotated. But a 4-0 win against Aberdeen got us through. A massive opportunity. It was tense for 70 minutes, but in the end, we just managed to pull through. Jimmy Campbell with that crucial second goal off the bench, and then Vaknin added 2 more to Ribeiro's opener. Against Leeds in the FA Cup, though, we lost on penalties, and it's the same team that put us out last year. Oh, it's so frustrating. It was a 2-2 draw with Vaknin and Lewis getting 1 each, but on penalties, Dancer and Ruben Aldav missed the crucial ones. Against Gladbach in the first leg, we were brilliant. We were absolutely superb in this tie, but we only came out with a 1-1 draw. A late equaliser was frustrating. We had over 3 expected goals in this tie, but we didn't get it over the line. And I fear, as we go away today, it may well cost us. Guy Vaknin, of course, with a goal in that one, as is so often the case. And then even more frustration last time. Against Blackburn, we rotated fully. I just wanted to focus on Thursday night. We were 2-1 down at half-time. I threw on loads of the first team players. We turned it round, 89th minute. Spasov made it 3-2 and it looked like it was job done. And we somehow managed to concede in injury time. It was an incredibly frustrating day. So not been a very good few weeks, to be honest. We've not won in 3. We've had frustration in every competition. But what will we do today against Gladbach? Of course, the positive if we go out is that we can focus on the push for Europe again, make it a consistent thing for the club. We've not got a great run in this year, and I want to go and win a trophy. That is the main objective in this big career. Let's start getting trophies on the board. There's not really many jobs popping up. Again, you can see nothing really at the very top level, nothing that would be a step up from Palace. So let's just go and focus on a big game, a 5:45 kickoff in Germany. We've rested our whole first 11 from the weekend, so everyone should be fit. Let's go and have a look at the team that's selected. They've not got a massive crowd in, interestingly. And you can see the match loads are light, they're medium. There aren't too many that have been working hard. And the only big decision I've really had to make is up front. Ribeiro comes in ahead of Chris Lewis despite being outscored by him this season. Ribeiro got one at the weekend and I want form over anything else. So is Charlie Setford in goal with Nelson and Luz on the fullbacks, Tear alongside Rodolfo as centre-half. Hames back on the right-hand side. He's not been great since injury. We really need him to pick up again. Spasov, of course, on the left is brilliant this season. And then Gallagher and Rothwell in the middle. Ribeiro and Vaknin up front. Guy Vaknin finding his form again at the right time for us. We're going to need some tonight because we wasted so many chances in the reverse fixture. And if we do it again here, after Gladbach won the league group stage game, it is going to be defeat. It is going to be no trophy. And it's going to be a little bit of a disappointing end to the season. So let's go and submit the team a big game in store and go and see how we get on away from home. Well, you can see the goal scorer from the first leg is the captain tonight. Gladbach, of course, rejected us for their current manager when Pep Guardiola left. And at the moment, you have to put them as favourites for this tie. Lots of good players, a few experienced ones on the bench too. But let's go and get through the dressing room. You've got nothing to lose, boys. We're not going to play positive here. We'll drop to balance. We'll get into the half. We'll try and hit them on the counter. Fingers crossed we'll be able to do it. The Europa Conference music is on the way. And I do feel a little bit frustrated because if you look at the competition now, we are probably playing arguably the best team left in the competition. You look at the top tie, Bilbao and Feyenoord. Bilbao may be at the same level. And Napoli are still in it too. But everywhere else, I would have fancied beating the opposition. We've been so unfortunate with who we've drawn. And if we get through this tie, you'd argue we're possibly favourites. So let's go and get into it. The music comes on. Not many fans in that corner. Not sure why. But let's be honest. This is all about getting a result. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be particularly good to watch. We just have to find a way through. The fans behind the goal are surely going to help us out here. They need to be loud. They need to be proud. And these boys need to deliver a performance. They're out in a tunnel. It is a fabulous spectacle. It does look great in game, doesn't it? But I don't want it to be the last time we see it this year. I have mentioned it in comparison to our other save, how much stronger the competition's been in this one. I don't know if that's because all of the leagues have been loaded throughout. But it's not going to matter if we go out here. I'm still going to be disappointed. As Leonard brings the ball down the left to Kosman. He's got the runner on the overlap. Leonard gets to the byline. Ball across. Oh, my words. Could you have a more disastrous start? The defender nearly scores an own goal. It hits Setford. He knows nothing about it to keep it out. And then Orozco just taps into the empty net. I mean, the boy will not get an easier goal. He's a very good Mexican striker. He's a model citizen too. He's been given a gift there. Awful start to the game. 10 minutes gone. We're one down and we're getting outplayed. Well, nearly 20 minutes on the clock and we're finally back with the ball here as Nelson has it on halfway to tear. Goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Not really what we wanted to see as Rodolfo into midfield for Conor Gallagher. A bit of experience there. Finds Hames to Vaknin. He's looking for the overlap, but it's a poor pass backwards. Tear manages to get there. Back to the keeper again. Why are we seeing this on key highlights? Watching our centre-half pass it back 50 yards to our keeper twice. Oh, I'm getting frustrated already. That might not though. Rothwell through to Vaknin. And it's 1-1. It's a wonderful through ball from Rothwell, who I've got to say, for the first time since we've joined this club, is having a really good spell. He's had 3 or 4 games where he's created goals. He's put in key passes. And we're back on terms. We've got an injury to Hames. We'll keep an eye on him. Only a bruise, apparently. As Tadic into Dinsa. Shots blocked. Tear heads up. Not away again. Rothwell recovers it. Ribeiro flicks on. Nobody there. A time to bring it down as well. It's a bit concerning, this. As Tadic goes back to Shotard. Over the top. Orozco's had one gift. Do not give him another. Setford doesn't. He clears it long. Vaknin will chase. What's the keeper doing? He was nearly on the halfway line. Oscar goes over the top. Leonard will get there on the left. Crossing is cleared by Tear and Nelson. Rothwell away to Hames. It's end-to-end in the highlight, but that ball is brilliant. Vaknin in behind the gap at left-back. Ribeiro's in the middle. And Rodrigo Ribeiro puts it in. Incisive counter. A brilliant 1-2 up front. And the combination delivers. Ribeiro copies my goal celebration there. And we're 2-1 up. Against the run of play, we have turned this game on its head. I will happily take this result. As I said at the start, it doesn't have to be pretty. We've given away an ugly goal. We've been outplayed for the most part. But we're ahead. As Spasov down the left. Ribeiro's in the middle. Got to score. Oh, Vaknin straight at the goalkeeper. You're not going to get many better chances than that. And Guy Vaknin has put it straight at the goalkeeper. Normally so reliable. He has scored already. I can't be too critical, but that was the chance. We should have been on our way. It's 2-1 at half-time. It's far too early for me to be confident. It's anyone's game. I guess the thing we've got to remember, though, The first leg, we were the better side. The group stage game, we were actually 1-0 up early on, weren't we? But we then had the red card and it changed the match. Are we maybe just about the better team? That's probably pushing it. As Hames heads away to Ribeiro. Wouldn't have minded another counter there as he nicks it again. Rothwell to Nelson and Ter. Back to his goalkeeper. Pretty sure that's the only pass he's played in this match. Just Ter back to his goalkeeper. As Ribeiro wins the header from the long ball. Spasov releases him again. Vaknin's in the middle. Ribeiro cuts back and across his blocks. It's poor. Oscar brings it away. He's got space to run into. Goes left to Leonard. It could go anyway, this. It's end to end. It's full of action. And Leonard's got to the byline. His cross is blocked. Oscar gets it into Orozco. Kosman goes back to Tadic. Long highlight. Going to be a goal. And it's a wonderful one from BMG. Gladbach have got it in. It is 2-2 on the night. 3-3 on aggregate. And now I'm wishing away goals was still a thing. At least then we wouldn't be going out with a draw. At the moment, you've got to say they've just about had more of this game. With an hour on the clock, it's about who stays fit. Luzon's on a yellow card. He's struggling. Both fullbacks actually in that situation. And now you've got Ribeiro who's struggling for fitness. You've got Hames who had that knock first half. This is where things start to really test us. As Giordani gets down the right. Well intercepted by Spasov. Working back so hard there. Finds Rodrigo Ribeiro. Has support from Vaknin, but goes alone down the wing. Lovely little step over back to Spasov. He cuts in. It's a brilliant ball. Guy Vaknin's header saved. He's missed 2 great chances in this game. He doesn't often miss them. But tonight, just like the first leg, we're having an off one in front of goal. Should be more than 2 at this point. Now Rothwell wins it again. What a spell he's having. Through to Ribeiro. Oh, it's wide. We cannot keep missing these. We've had so many good ones. And we're going to live to regret it, surely. I've got to make the changes. Chris Lewis is going to come on for Ribeiro, who's knackered. Hames off for Hagen on the right. I'm going to go Conor Gallagher for Gordon Ward. I'm going to go Luzon off at left back for Mitchell. No, in fact, it'll be Bois, the January signing. And then I'm going to put Danter out to right back. Nelson will come off on his yellow. Adam Barrett on as centre half. Not Aldarv, which would have been a disaster. There are the 5 changes. There's 20 to go. We've freshened it up completely. But look, the expected goals tells you everything. We have had great chances that we keep spurning. And it might cost us yet. 10 minutes to go. Even on aggregate. And it's a Gladbach corner. Oscar puts it in. Rodolfo away. But the pressure's starting to build. They've got those fresh legs. They've got that quality in the squad. They've been a top side for longer than us. But Vaknin nicks it. He's got Lewis on the counter. Gives it away with a heavy touch. Not been his night, Guy Vaknin here. As into the left-hand side they go, Gladbach. Leonard picks it up. He's had a good game. Pillane up to Oscar. Intercepted by Lewis. Put him away. Vaknin goes back and he gives it away to Leonard. All he had to do was play it through the other way. Rodolfo heads up. Rothwell flicks on. Lewis does the same, but it's to no one. And it's another one of these long, horrid highlights. And it's a defender caught out. Barrett been done. And Orozco puts it in. The sub-centre half has been caught out. Ter is all over the place at right back. And a hat-trick from the superstar striker is going to put us out of Europe. 3-2 to them. But it's a free kick with Spasov into the back post. Rodolfo in hits the post. Oh my words. I don't know how we're behind in this game. We've had so many good chances. But this is just like the first leg. We aren't taking them. And it's away to Leonard and Vasilev. And if they score here, it's tie over. 3 minutes to go. We've got to get a goal. And we've also got to make sure we don't concede as Leonard on the left continues to harass us. Out to his fullback who's still overlapping. Doesn't matter that it's 3-2 on the night. They're going for it. It's back to Leonard again. Cuts it into the box. Barrett down for Rothwell. Clearance is awful. Oscar back to Vasilev. Outside of the foot. And if that had gone in, you know it's not your lucky night. We've gone attacking. We're chasing this match. But we've played really well. Over the 2 legs, we have been the better side by far. We battered them at home. We were just as good away. Again, mistakes at the back, not taking chances. The 2 most important things on a football pitch. We didn't get the result. We played well. But this is frustrating now. Yes, we can chase Europe again. Yes, we're overperforming with this Crystal Palace side. But it'll be no trophy. And we had a real chance. So I'm quite frustrated by that. Back in a moment to face Brighton. That's just 3 days away. Can we at least cheer ourselves up with a win over the rivals? Because it's now 4 without a victory. And I'm starting to miss the winning feeling. Well, here we go then. Virtually all the things we targeted at the start of the season. The silverware, the glory is now gone. but we can still get this club into Europe again. It's going to be tough. You look at the top 7, they're very strong sides, and the ones closest to us should be in the top 4, really. You've got Newcastle and Spurs pushing from behind. It just means we've got to win this one here. We're at home to Brighton, who are 17th. We've basically swapped positions from 2 years ago, but it's not enough at the minute. We're going to have tired legs because we played a very intense game on Thursday night. You can see Dante is not fit, so the man who basically cost us the game is going to have to come in Barrett. In midfield, Rothwell, heavy match load, struggling. We've got to freshen it up a little bit, so I'll dive in for him. Spasov on the left is not really fit either, but we have got a week off after. So with him, I might well take the risk. But everything else is going to stay the same. It's just about who doesn't make the bench. And Tate and Rothwell are knackered. Lewis will come on in place of Tyrick Mitchell. We don't need 3 left-backs in the squad. And that's what we're going to go for. So a couple of changes in force just to freshen up the spine of the team. Barrett and Aldarv are in today. Let's hope they can make an impact. At home to Brighton, we should be able to get the 3 points. We've had disappointing days before, and at the moment, we're at our lowest ebb of confidence in a very long time. Well, here we go then. It is 4 changes for Filip Kostic's Brighton side. They've got good players in their squad. Aït-Nouri at left-back, I'm sure we've made a bid for before. Daniel Everson in goal. Tariq Lamptey, an original, of course, at the club. I'm just seeing if that guy they poached on deadline day a couple of years ago is still there, but he's not. Tyler Morton's on the bench. Juan Mustafa is on the bench, who he signed from us last summer. So let's go and get into it. Put on a worthy display, get motivated and do better. Let's hope they respond in this one. We need a better performance. We need more going forward. And with our form, probably at its worst in a long time, that's not going to be easy at all. No theme music for this one, but a positive start. We're on the front foot. We've had the shots, but again, we're not hitting the target. And at the moment, the amount of chances we're creating, we're not getting those 4s and 5s like we have before. Though that cross into Ribeiro was good. He lost out in the air. Spasov on the left, cuts it back to Hames. He gets the header in, hits the woodwork. Lamptey hoofs it clear. We should have that advantage today off the wings because Lamptey's short. Their left back is shorter than Hames as well. So maybe that's where we can take advantage as Luzon picks up the ball at left back to Spasov. Inside to Gallagher. Up towards Ribeiro. It's a good start here. Good football being played. But we need that goal early as Hames looking for Vaknin on the run, but just goes himself down the right. Gets to the byline. Great ball in. Ribeiro doesn't get there. Vaknin on the rebound. And finally it's bundled in by Spasov. It was a little bit of pinball in that 6-yard area there. No one really wanted to finish it off. But Spasov does get the ball in the back of the net. And finally, we go 1-0 up. 15 gone. First shot on target, but we've had 10, nearly 1 a minute. Can we make it count and get a big victory? Probably the thing that gets us back in form is a big 3 or 4-0 win against the rivals. Whether or not we get that, though, relies on our finishing, which hasn't been great. Here is Brighton's free kick over the top. Barrett heads away. He was at fault for that winner at the week, but he's got caught out here. His header away wasn't great, and Zvonarek puts it over the bar. Got to be honest, Brighton are offering next to nothing. So if we can win this, then great. But look again, our expected goals is 2.5 already. Rodolfo's headed one just wide, and it's only 1-0. We've gone from taking chances, being ruthless, to now being that, the most unclinical side you could ever see. And all of those chances are going begging as Rodolfo finds Luzon on the left. He's got the chance to play forward. Looks over the top towards Ribeiro, who can't get there. Phillips will bring it down for Everson, the keeper. Ami only plays out from the back. We're not really putting any pressure on them. And Barrett's header away again. What on earth is going on with him? He's lost another one. And it's 1-1. It's catastrophic defending. What is Barrett doing at centre-half? He cost us the game on Thursday. He's costing us the game today. Oh, it's awful. Look at the stats. The expected goals is frightening. And it's going to scare me all day because we're not taking chances. And now Brighton have got the momentum. They play over to Rodriguez. He's in from a simple ball again. And Rodolfo heads off the line. Good job he was there because Barrett didn't want to defend. Oh, I'm infuriated. Right, corner kick Brighton. Let's just get the half-time level now because the momentum has swung. Setford does really well with a corner. With 5 to the break, who would have thought we'd be hanging on for 1-1? Because the stats suggest we should be out of sight. For so many games recently, that's been the case. Let's go and prove a point. Where is your response? Where are the guts that you had earlier in the year? And most importantly, where the hell are the goals gone? Ribeiro is not going to last much longer here. He's having a poor game. Spasov knackered already. Gallagher struggling. And Hames has the ball cutting in from the right to Rodolfo. Short to Gallagher again. Here's Aldarve. Not done much today so far. That big switch is all right though out to Nelson. Got Hames on the overlap and he releases him. Two in the middle. Vaknin's one. That's better. Guy Vaknin scores. It's 2-1 to Palace. Ribeiro will come off for Lewis straight away. Gallagher will come off for Ward straight away. And Spasov on the left wing will be off for Jimmy Campbell. 3 changes made. A mix of freshening it up and bringing on players for poor replacements. And let's see if they can get the job done. Over 2.5 expected goals. We finally got the second to show for it. But again, it's now Brighton on the front foot, though Jimmy Campbell nicks it. Luzon brings it out from left back. Big switch of play was risky, but it finds Hames. He's definitely having a better spell now. Cuts inside, goes back to his fullback. Looking at the substitutions, we've got Fatigue at centre-half. Don't know why Barrett's knackered. He's barely played in recent months. As that one goes into Chris Lewis. And he's really pushed his case for a starting spot, hasn't he? Vaknin delivers. He takes his chance. It's 3-1. It should be game over. Hames will come off for Hagen on the right. And at centre-half, do I take someone off? We've not really got any defenders on the bench, have we? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give Vaknin a rest for Mancont. Just make sure he doesn't get injured. Because if we're going to finish in that top 7 or 6, he's going to be the man to do it. And with a couple of minutes to go, we will get our redemption. Yes, it's not the game we wanted to win. And yes, it's also not the one that's going to give us a trophy here. But we do eventually take some chances. We do eventually get the win. And we do it against our rivals. So all in all, it could be worse, couldn't it? Let's go and see if any managers have lost their job this weekend. Because we are looking at one of those Premier League strugglers maybe coming up this summer. We've tried a few times to get jobs abroad in the Bundesliga, in Syria, even in La Liga, and not really had much luck. So maybe this year, with Chelsea struggling, with Newcastle struggling, with United struggling, with Spurs not picking up under Pep that much, maybe it's the chance for us to get another job. At the moment, none of them are available, but there are a few that are a little bit insecure now. We head over to the job security screen. It's been probably the most stable 2 years you'll ever see at the top end of European football, and we need to make it count next time one comes up. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that, but for now, let's go and have a look at the schedule. Do you know what? Unless the job situation changes, I think we'll just come back for the final 2 now. We've only got 10 games to go. We've got nothing else to play for, no trophies to play for. The European positions, whether we qualify or not, will depend partly on whether those other sides pick up and partly on whether we maintain our form, particularly at home. So we're just going to come back for Leeds and Bournemouth after that run of fixtures where we don't really know what's going to happen. And we'll see where we are, whether we can nick a European spot, whether we can nick another job at last, and whether we can finish positively with Palace. But out of all the cups in early March, we've of course managed to end the winless run of 4. But if you did enjoy this episode, watching my heartbreak despite a good performance in the Europa Conference, and please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of that 2-legged defeat. An awful lot of twists and turns to come, but we will be back for the end of the story this season. And then hopefully it will be a new chapter with a new club and not another season of stagnation with Crystal Palace. If you want to stay up to date and find out what it ends up being, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back in a couple of days' time with this one, but in the meantime, a very big episode from Distillery tomorrow. It's been an epic season over in that one. The latest season is in the eye above now. It's there with the Twitch channel, the football podcast, and of course the blog story too. And if you haven't already, check out the new sponsor, Factor 75 by HelloFresh. Fresh ready meals to your door if you live in the US. Have a click on the link in the description for 50% off your first order and more off the next few as well. It really is worth the go. But thank you very much for watching. Your support always appreciated. No trophies again this season in the head coach. Be back next time to see if we finish with European football.